One who objected through the phone, email, put the pressure on online, attended council surgeries, a big pat on the back, and what it shows and it demonstrates that when the loyalist community decide to forget all the kind of ins and outs and the cracks that are in our community and decide to gel back together again, it's one massive body of people that can't be ignored. The voice of the community can't be ignored, and that's what's been demonstrated the past couple of weeks. Further to North Lanarkshire Council receiving the proposal and rejecting it, what's actually happened as well, we know that Glasgow City Council, they have a slightly different policy on flag flying. They have flown different flags in the past, such as kind of the Palestine flag and things like that. Franny McAdam, Kieran Ahern, their regional organiser, he had passed a request to Glasgow City Council, and I think in the minds of a lot of people, Glasgow City Council would fly it. I think in a lot of people's minds, a lot of people said if any council in Scotland's got to fly it, it's going to be Glasgow. Glasgow City Council didn't really give it a second thought. Glasgow City Council put it straight in the bin, to be fair, and so did other councils that received it. The only one really not to respond openly is the Scottish Government. The Scottish Government has had a proposal put in as well. I dare say theirs is going to be the same. They won't be doing it. There has been spokesmen from the Scottish Government. They've come out and they've said that it won't be flying, but we'll wait until we get something more solid. Maybe something in regards to an official statement from the Scottish Government on the issue. So yeah, big well done to everyone who participated in the campaign not to have this flag flying. It's been a resounding success and it's not going up. Moving on to tonight's show, we're going to be looking at various atrocities and various things that's been happening to loyalists for years and years and years, and happening in Britain, which has contributed to the loyalist community saying we're not forgiving nor forgetting. But then if you turn around and you say to someone that you're not forgiving and forgetting, they won't take your points. They'll simply put you straight down as a bigot, a racist, sectarian, all these kind of words. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, folks. Again, we're going to be looking for your participation. You can call in on 0141 416 16 and 90. You can contact us through Twitter, which is PULcom_radio. You can get us on our Facebook page, which is PUL Community Radio, or you can email us at the studio at pulcommunityradio.com. If you feel that you've got something to contribute, or you're hearing something over the show tonight and you want to come in, you've got something to say on it, then please feel free to phone up and you'll come straight through to myself and we shall have a chat on whatever you have to say. We're going to go back and play some more music just now, folks, until we get right into the way of things. PUL Community Radio cannot and will not be held responsible for the views of any panel member, chatroom user or caller who participates on any of our broadcasts, nor can we be held responsible for any content from any external website links that may appear on air or on the chat box on our website.
You're listening to PUL Community Radio. Music, news, debates, banter and views. Call now on 0141 416 1690.
The day before the July fair, the ribbon men they did prepare for 3 miles around for to rack and to tear and to burn the town of Garva. The Tory whistle loud and shrill did echo o'er the high-mown hill. Our brave boys we'd slay and kill all the Protestants in Garva. Come on, and they did repair in multitudes to Garva fair. Some travelled 30 miles or more for to burn the town of Garva. They all appeared in the greatest haste, white handkerchiefs tied round their waist, their jackets sweeted soundly based this July fair in Garva. Then Captain Dewey cried, brave boys, maintain your cause and fear no noise. We'll massacre these orange boys and we'll burn the town of Garva. He hadn't turned himself around till he received a deadly wound. His heels went up and his head went down at the July fair in Garva. But mark what folly this affray. They swore to swear our lives away. To jail we went without delay. Sure there were no guards in Garva. The horrid oaths against us swore such cursing you've ne'er heard before. But Lusky swore 3 hours or more again the boys of Garva. The judge he then would us condemn, had it not been for the jurymen. Our grateful thanks are due to them, for they cleared the boys in Garva. All thanks and praise we'll tender still to Mr. Price and brave George Hill. The Beresfords befriend us still, for they cleared the boys in Garva.
Here's to the boys who fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates will close against their foes on the 18th of December.
Behold the crimson banners float o'er yonder torrents hoary. It tells of days of mighty note and Derry's deathless glory, when her brave sons undaunted stood in battle to defend her. Indignant stemmed oppressors' flood and sang out no surrender.
Here's to the boys who fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates will close against their foes
on the 18th of December. Old Derry's walls were firm and strong, well fenced in every quarter, each frowning bastion grim along, with culverin and mortar. But Derry had a surer guard than all that art could lend her. Her prenticed hearts the gates who barred and sang out no surrender.
Here's to the boys who fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates will close against their foes
on the 18th of December. On came the foe in big attire, and fierce assault was given. By shot and shell mid streams of fire, her fatal roofs were riven. But baffled was the tyrant's wrath, and vain his hope to bend her. For still midst famine, fire, and death, she sang out no surrender.
Here's to the boys who fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates will close against their foes on the 18th of December.
Long may the crimson banner wave, a meteor stream and airy, portentous of the free and brave that man the walls of Derry. And Derry's sons alike defy bold traitor or pretender, and peal to heaven their prentice cry, their patriot no surrender.
Here's to the boys who fear no noise and never will surrender. The gates will close against their foes
on the 18th of December. The time has scarce gone by, boys, 200 years ago, when rebels on old Derry's walls their faces dare not show. When James and all his rebel band came up to Bishopsgate, with a heart in hand and sword and shield, we caused him to retreat. We'll fight but not surrender wherever duty calls. With a heart and a hand and sword and shield, we'll guard our Derry's walls. Our blood did flow in crimson streams for many's a winter's night. They knew the Lord was on their side to help them in the fight. They nobly stood upon the walls, determined for to die, to fight and gain the victory and hoist the crimson high. We'll fight but not surrender wherever duty calls. With a heart and a hand and sword and shield, we'll guard our Derry's walls. At last, with one broadside, kind heaven sent them aid. The boom was broke that crossed Foyle shores, and James he was dismayed. The banner, boys, that floated was run aloft with joy. God bless the hands that broke the boom and save the apprentice boys. We'll fight but not surrender wherever duty calls. With a heart and a hand and sword and shield, we'll guard our Derry's walls.
Call now on 0141 416 1690.
Hello again, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to the PL Community Radio, broadcasting live tonight again from the PUL Community Hub. Tonight's show, Forgive and Forget It. Like I said previously, we're going to be looking at various atrocities and different things that have happened to the Loyalist community, which should explain why we would always say forget it to anyone saying forgive and forget. It's out of the question. We won't forgive nor will we forget. We'll be looking at different atrocities like Warrington bombings, Mazarine Barracks, Jean McConville, of course the Three Scottish Soldiers. You've got the savage murder of Derek Woods and David House, Kingsmill Massacre, the Shankle Fish Shop, all the way through to Bloody Friday, the Biardo attacks, the Birmingham bombings, Hyde Park, Tilly Valley, Orange Halls, Warren Point. There's a couple of different ones in there which aren't as widely broadcast, like the M62 coach bombings or the killings of Nick Spanis and Stephen Melrose, all the way to the OTR letters, because that is a huge contributing factor as to why forgiveness is impossible and why forgetting is also impossible. When we look at the likes of what happened to the Three Scottish Soldiers, they were off duty 1971, 10th of March, killed by the Provisional IRA, lured from a pub. They were off duty, let's remember they were off duty. Lured from a pub, they were shot in Whitebury. Nothing adds up. There's been no justice done, no real attempt to secure justice. There's been no millions and millions of pounds spent on trying to source some form of justice for the family. Nothing at all. Yeah, they were off duty. This is what makes it so much more kind of hard to swallow. The fact they were off duty, but the Three Scottish Soldiers aren't the only British soldiers to be murdered while off duty by these Republican cowards. When you look at the Mazarine Barracks 2009, there was another